Well, good morning, everybody. Happy Wednesday. Hope everybody's having a great start to your day. My name is Jeff Street. I teach people how to make money from home online. And, in today's conversation, it's time to really self-reflect and time to have some introspection. And I want you to ask yourself, are you using your ears? Are you using your ears more than your mouth? I want you to think about that. Are you using your ears more than your mouth? And here's why this is so important. I think we've all heard the saying, God gave me 2 ears and 1 mouth. God gave me 2 ears and 1 mouth. And the reason that God gave you 2 ears and 1 mouth is so you can listen twice as much as you talk. See, Dale Carnegie talks about in this book how to win friends and influence people. And if you haven't read this book, I would read this book. And if you only read this book once, I would read it a second time. And if you've only read it twice, I would read it a third time. And so it's one of the most impactful books that I've ever read. And, Dale Carnegie talks about in this book, he said, if you want to be interesting to others, you got to go out and be interested in others. Let me say that again. If you want to be interesting to others, you got to go out and be interested in others. See, the best conversationalists are the people that continue to have you talk. Think about some really great conversations you've had. Some great conversations you had. The person listening had you talk more and more about yourself. See, as human beings, the way that we're wired is we feel good when we get to express ourselves. We feel good when we get a chance to talk. We feel proud when we get a chance to share, how much that we know. And see, conversationalists, people that are really good at conversating, get good at asking you questions. So you got to ask yourself, am I good at asking other people questions? They say things like, tell me more. That's really interesting. Tell me more about that. See, again, you got to learn how to listen more than you talk. And one thing I found is that most people treat conversations like a competitive sport. A lot of people literally, they treat their conversations like a competitive sport where it's like the one person starts talking like, yeah, I'm going to one-up you right now. Oh, that was good. Let me show you what I got. Let me hit you with this one. Let me hit you with that one. And see, what I found is you're never actively listening if you're thinking about how you're going to respond to what the other person said. Meaning if when somebody else is talking, if you're like, oh, if you're already thinking about what you're going to say and you're just waiting for them to finish so you can get yours in, you're not actually listening. See, one of the things I found is people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. So you got to go out and really listen to other people. Silence is a real good thing in a conversation. A lot of people think that, silence is awkward and people feel weird when there's nothing being said. And, sometimes I'll have conversations with people and I'll be listening to them and I'll be listening to them and I'll be listening to them. And they're like, Jeff, are you still there? Yeah, no, I'm still here. I was just digesting what you said. I was just taking a moment to think about what you said. And think about this. How many times in life have we said something so quickly that we regretted it afterwards? Meaning, how many of you have ever been like, oh man, I shouldn't have said that one? And the reason being is because we're listening more than we're talking. My dad put a poster on my bedroom door when I was a little kid, and it said, think. It was a big poster. It said, think. And the reason that he put it there is to remind me to think before I spoke. Listen, actually, before you think. Listen, pause, think, and then speak. And knowledge is power. We've all heard knowledge is power, and a person talking is actually giving away information. A person listening is receiving the information. And we all need to be able to go out and receive more information. And at the same time, I want to give you actually two quotes to think about, here as we wrap up this discussion for today. The first one is Richard Branson. And Richard Branson said, listen more than you talk. Nobody learned anything from hearing themselves speak. Let me say that again. Listen more than you talk. Nobody learned anything from hearing themselves speak. The second one is from the Dalai Lama. Now, who'd agree? Richard Branson, Dalai Lama, these are some good people to be able to learn from. And here's what the Dalai Lama said. When you talk, you're repeating what you already know. See, when you speak, you're repeating what you already know. When you listen, you may learn something new. So I challenge everybody, learn something new today. Remember, God gave you 2 ears and 1 mouth so you can listen twice as much as you speak. And I know that there's some people like, man, I really need to hear this message today. You know what? I needed to hear this message. And a lot of times, one of the things that we speak about sometimes are the things that we need to remember the most ourselves. And, that's why we speak about these things. So again, my name is Jeff Street. I teach people how to make money from home online. Drop a comment that says listen. Drop a comment today that says listen. And rate yourself, and you don't have to put this in the comment, but rate yourself. Take some personal introspection this morning. Good morning, Mark. Take some personal introspection this morning and rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 10 of, are you doing more talking? Are you doing more listening? Are you doing more listening? How are you as a listener? So share this video if you think somebody else can get something out of this morning's message. And remember, listen more than you talk. So at this point, I'm done talking. God bless everybody. Have a great day. Drop a comment that says listen, and we'll see you tomorrow.